Thank you for joining me. Today I'm making a tropical pancake. And I love berries, but sometimes tropics hit the spot like no other. And I need to go to the tropics. So right now I'm going to make a pancake that is hearty and substantial and always clean, and a fruit sauce that goes with it that is delicious and reminiscent of an island day. So I want to thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Okay, we are ready to start on our tropical coconut mango sauce. And use my mixer a moment. And those are basically mango ice cubes. This is beautiful. It is tart. It is like high-end, delicious mango smoothie. And that is our beautiful sauce. And like I said, it is perfect. You could put this over other fruit. You could put this on Greek yogurt, put this on toast. You could put yogurt on toast and put this over it. It is a million ways to eat fresh sauce. So I hope you try it. It is a really wonderful, quick and easy thing to look very good on a Sunday brunch. And remember, if you don't have date paste, you can use maple syrup or honey. We're just using natural sweeteners here. Okay, we are starting in on the tropical pancakes, and I'm absolutely excited because these pancakes are so beautiful. And yes, if you don't have the ingredients, when you start to get these ingredients, the whole wheat flour or the pastry flour, or if you make your own vanilla and buttermilk and wild rice, it does take a minute to get all that, but once you have that and you start to decide to eat different, it starts really having a big payoff, first of all, in flavor, but second of all, the amazingness of the clean ingredients, no refined anything. I cook down dates and I put them in hot water, and then I blend them and I make a date paste. I keep that in the refrigerator. Anytime any sauce or anything needs a touch of sweetness, that is ready to go. It is wonderful. It is caramely, it is buttery, it is delicious. And today we're also using just a little bit of that Minnesota wild rice, which I love. It gives a hearty, chewy, nutty flavor. Even though we're going to the tropics on the pancakes, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of nuttiness. So that is what we are making today, and we're going to start in. And there's a couple steps, so I'm just going to show you one by one what it takes, but really the step I'm talking about is that we're going to make some egg whites, and we're going to use the blender and make an egg white foam, which will help lighten the pancakes. And that is what makes a light and fluffy pancake. Or if you've ever made like an angel food cake or meringue cake, that there's a lot of egg whites that go into that. This is the same theory, because sometimes whole wheat can be a little heavy, so but I don't mind, but some people do, so that's why I'm going to show you. So what I do is I start with 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, and you can do a combination. I did a combination of whole wheat and whole wheat pastry. They are two different kinds of wheat. One is a little bit finer and gives it a little softer touch, and the other one's a little bit more hearty. Then we have a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm sorry, my bowl is right in front of you. And we have 2 tablespoons of ground flax, and that gives it another bit of nuttiness, which I absolutely love. We have 4 tablespoons of shredded toasted coconut, and I just absolutely love that. Now, they call for shredded, but I don't mind strips, and so that's what I'm using because it all cooks the same, and I love it. It's beautifully optically as well. Okay, and then a pinch of sea salt. Okay, now we're going to do the wet. I'm going to move that over there. So we have 1.5 cups of buttermilk, and everything should be at room temperature. So, because otherwise you'll get the cold and the hot will mix, and it can change the consistency of things. It can make like a clotting. So I always get everything to room temperature, and I make my own vanilla. So we have 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and that is vanilla that I make. I take vanilla beans and I soak them in vodka for a long time, and then I just keep them in a jar. I pureed it first, so you have kind of a liquid on the top and you have more of a sediment like at the bottom. But in my cooking, which is all very natural, the vanilla bean goes perfect. And then you put in 2 tablespoons of an oil, and so I always use Heart Healthy avocado oil. But I had a little coconut oil for popcorn, and I don't eat much of the coconut oil. A lot of people like it, but I just eat very little of it. But it tastes great in our tropical pancakes. We are putting it in there. Now here's 4 tablespoons of date paste that I made. That is the de Galette Noir date, and I just soak that. You could use the medjool as well. Get all that out of there. So the one thing I noticed when I started cooking healthy was that I needed more storage. So I'm very into keeping any jar I can, because I am getting away from any and all kind of plastic, because that is very well known that it's not good for you. Okay, so that is our wet mixed. I'm going to add our rice as well. That's 1/2 cup of the Minnesota rice that they harvest in canoes. So we're going to let that sit a second. Clean up here quickly. Okay, we're going to crack our 2 eggs. Now if the stove beeps, I'm sorry. And when you beat eggs, you have to make sure that there's nothing in the bowl that has the egg whites, because the egg whites will not beat if they have any egg yolk in them. So just make sure you could actually have a shell in it, but you can't have any yolk in it. Now this bowl is really little, so we're going to need some luck so it doesn't fly out the sides, but we're going to mix it. That bowl did pretty well after all. Little tiny. And so what you want here is you don't want soft peaks. You don't want it hard like a meringue. You want it so it still drops. But what we're going to do is mix our wet with the dry. We're going to get our egg yolks in there as well. And the reason why you mix the dry by itself first is in case there is any lumps or anything, and you don't want any pockets of anything. And the thing is, with batter, you only have kind of a few seconds to get it together. You want to incorporate it. You don't want to mix it, or you're going to expand the glutens. And then if you've ever had tough pancakes anywhere, that is what has happened, was they stirred the batter too long. So we're going to mix. Everything's incorporated. Now you could add a little drop of cinnamon, but since we're going to the tropics, I'm going to save that for later. So I just want to bring this together, lift it, and they say with batter, I'm always anxious about it, but they say with batter, it's okay with lumps, and I'm one of those people that I understand the theory, but seeing a powdery lump does nothing for me. Now, this is pancake batter. If it's too thick after we have our eggs in there, we add just a drop more of buttermilk. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, but I'm going to divide it into 3 little pockets. Then what you do is you lift and you drop, and you lift and you drop. Lift and drop it. Flip it over. That buttermilk has an acid in there. The baking soda has a beautiful degree of leavening. So, and with whole wheat, you can let this sit a minute. That is a tad bit thick. I do want to be able to, have those move around in a pan. So I may add just a little tablespoon of buttermilk. It's always up to you what you're doing. On the other side of it, if it's too loose, you can add a little bit more flour. So there's always a way to save things. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit and get my pan ready. And on my stove, I have to let a pan heat up for 3 or 4 minutes on medium. But in this, where we're going next, is you could use a little bit of avocado oil is in your pan. You could use some butter, little pat of butter, or I always spray some avocado oil in there. So, okay, now we're going to start in and put our batter in. I've let it heat up for about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to put in about 1/2 cup. If we need more, we'll put in more. We can make him bigger. You always have to choose the size of pan you want when you start a pancake, because then they're all got to be the same size to fit your plates. So this should make about 12 pancakes if they were smaller. So, if you did the entire plate, probably 4. And that's been about 3 minutes. So let's look at his underside, which is, right, he's a beauty. Okay. Ooh. This is going to be gorgeous with our tropical sauce. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. And we've got our last one. That little one won't come on the plate, but I'm sure I will eat it. You guys, look at those beautiful, hearty, delicious pancakes. Okay, I'm going to get them ready with their syrup. And you could eat them just like this with just butter, but I'm going to do mine with just a little bit of our beautiful tropical mango, orange, lemon, lime, coconut sauce. These look absolutely delicious, and I'm going to have a bite, even though it's 2 in the afternoon. Oh my God. You guys, these just smell nutty and beautiful and tropical. They're hitting everything for me. I'm not in Hawaii, but yes, I am. You guys, these are delicious. Those tropical pancakes take me away, and I do need to go. They're delicious, they're easy, they're gentle, they're substantial, they're so satisfying, and once you get the ingredients together, you're set on many batches. So I want to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.